What's going on, people? Welcome back to another match review with me, Dan, of the Wolfpack. Before we get started, obviously, as always, make sure you're liking the video, subscribing to the channel if you're new, and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss future videos, guys. Always very important. And as you can probably tell from the demeanour and the voice, I'm a little bit deflated today. That was a very, very poor performance from certain individuals, which, let's be honest, you can see the thumbnail, you're not dumb. And we'll get into individual performances towards the end of the video. But we need to talk about this team. We today got shown that the reality is quite a bitch. We needed a reality check after coming after that win against West Ham, myself included. That was evidence that this team is not cut out to be in the Premier League, guys. It's not. Too many weak-minded individuals. Too much. It was like some individual performances today were nonchalant. What I mean by that is they thought that they had more time on the ball than they did, or they thought they could get away with things. And in the Premier League, you can't. Regardless of opposition, whether you're playing Man City or any other team in the bottom of the table, Everton today proved that we are not good enough for this league at the way things are at the moment. The way things are at the moment with this particular set of players, we aren't good enough. We aren't good enough. Everton were better than us in every department today. Every single department. They were more physical. They ran more. They wanted it way more. They pressed us. They made us look awful, and they made them look incredible. They didn't really have to get out of first gear, and they beat Wolves with 3 goals. Yes, okay, we'll talk about the fact that, we scored some goals, the fact that we showed some fight at times, showed a bit of positivity. I was happy with the fact that we scored goals from open play, because that was a bit of a scare. I didn't even think we were capable of doing that. But defensively today, that is up there with one of the worst defensive displays I've ever seen. Agbadu and Totti today were like the Chucker brothers. To me, to you, to me, to you. And then ultimately as clownish. Like, it was literally like Laurel and Hardy. Do you know what I mean? Ant and Dec. They were literally like two absolute clowns on the pitch. Santi Bueno, I felt so sorry for him today, because he, out of our back line, was the only one with a head on his shoulders. The only one. The only one who wouldn't rush a pass, wouldn't think that they're better than they actually are. I'm going to put out a missing report for this guy. What has happened to Emmanuel Agbadu? Can anybody please tell me where this guy is? Because since the pre-season and up until now, this guy has been undoubtedly the most poor defender I've seen in recent years. His passing out in this game was laughable. Everton knew for a fact there was going to be a weak, piss-poor pass from him every single time, and pounced on the ball. Jack Grealish today, literally, I mean, he's going to have nightmares about Jack Grealish all evening, Agbadu is. But And this is a but. Is he? Because I thought at times today, I know we weren't going to be talking about individuals, but I feel like we need to in this introduction. I thought at times today, some of our players looked like they couldn't be arsed. Looked like they didn't want it. Looked like they didn't really even want to put the shirt on. And for me, that's worrying this early in the season. I thought there was some performances that were very concerning. And overall, this was embarrassing. Felt embarrassed. You get beat by City, but you take an L. They've got a lot of quality, and Everton do have quality. They do. But would you say they're worlds ahead of us on paper? I wouldn't say worlds. I'd say they're better than us on paper, but I wouldn't say they were worlds better than us, and that's what it looked like. It was, at times, quite frankly, just felt like, what was the point? Why do we spend our money to watch players who don't even look like they want to be there? Do me a favour. If you don't want to be at Wolves, just leave. Just leave. Like, if Jurgen Strand-Larsen actually isn't injured and he actually ends up at Newcastle, bro, you know what I mean? I'd rather you just go. I'd rather them go. If you don't want to be at this club, go. If you do, amazing. I'll back you regardless of defeat or anything. If you run your socks off, I'm looking at Rodrigo Gomez. I'm looking at Fer Lopez. I'm looking at Hugo Bueno. If you run your socks off and you lose, that's okay, because you've done your utmost best. You've done your job, and unfortunately, we just weren't good enough. And I'll take that L, left, right, and centre. But this is different, because it's individual mistakes. It's no communication, lack thereof communication. It's just it was so obvious what was going to happen every time. Every single time I knew it was going to happen. It's like I had a clairvoyant power. Do you know what I'm saying? I was like Mystic Meg all of a sudden, and I could just predict everything that was going to happen. And it was literally that easy. We made it so easy for them. If it weren't for them playing us off the pitch, which they did a lot today, it was us just giving the ball away. Just giving it away, not being strong enough, not being clever enough, not covering the runs, not closing the spaces, just looking like we couldn't be arsed. And that ain't good enough. Losing, I'll take, but not looking like you're arsed, there is no excuse for that at all. Let's talk about how we lined up. So we had Sarr in goal, Agbadou in the middle of Totti Gomez and Santi Bueno. We had Hugo Bueno. We had double Buenos. Chachua on the side as well, with Andre and João Gomez in the centre of the pitch. And then we had Hwang as a number 9 with Arias and Munetsi not alongside him, to be honest. Let's put it out there. They were number 10s. They weren't wingers today. And I thought that on paper that looks terrible. That cannot be a Premier League starting 11. It can't be. These players back in, like, when they first came into the fray, were fringe players. The only player that isn't a fringe player is João Gomez, potentially Andre, and Sarr. I'm not even going to count Agbadou, because as much as I'm thinking now, he's a bloody fringe player, and Totti Gomez and all. But you can't just be playing players that haven't had any minutes alongside fringe players and expect to win Premier League football matches. And this is all down to Fosun. Just is. But we'll talk about that at the end, guys. Don't worry about that. I'll never leave that out. Anyway, the goals. Let's look at the stats. So it looks like a very even contest, to be fair. It even looks like Wolves maybe swayed it a little bit, but that's really not what happened at all. Everton were a much better team, much better drilled, wanted it so much more than Wolves. And in the first half, again, it looks even, but look at the state. Look at the state of this. They were better than us. Case in point, they were better than us. So, their first goal, it's just frustrating because it's a ball out to Grealish on the far left side. He heads the ball across the goal, and Beto just heads it in like no one's there. Totti Gomez and Agbadou literally whiffing at the air, trying to clear the ball. The only person who knows where the ball is Beto. And you can place your bloody Betos. It went in. After that, we looked pretty shit. Like, honestly, I really thought this was going to be one of those games where they score really early and we just get demolished. We weren't demolished, but we looked dreadful. Do you know what I mean? Like we didn't look confident at any point in this game. Hwang scores a goal. Munetsi gets a good run, and it's a great ball across Munetsi. Absolutely phenomenal ball. Great weight to it. And it's straight into the path of Hwang. And it's a great finish. You know what I mean? It's a great finish. Fair play to him. Scores. Might be exactly what he needs. You know, I don't think... Up until then, I thought Hwang was poor. After he scored that goal, I don't think he looked too bad, actually. He was quite good on pressing and everything. But then, ultimately, they score again. And now this is the one that we need to talk about. This is the one we need to talk about, guys, because oh my god, this to me just shows how off it we are right now. Andre is on the ball, right? And all he's got to do is just lamp it up the pitch. Because let's be honest, you've got about 4 Everton players around you. So just lamp it one. Or even put it out for a throw-in, and so we can get back to normal. But he doesn't. Do you know what he does instead? He tries to find João Gomez, his midfield partner. He tries to find him in the box. On the edge of the box. The pass doesn't come through. Which means all of our players are out of position. And then literally Everton just pile on the pressure, get as many players forward as possible. And it ends up being a good goal for them. But it's so avoidable, guys. And that's what's concerning for me. We have conceded so many avoidable goals. Not the third one, because that's just a banger. Do you know what I mean? Dewsbury Hall, that's just an absolute banger. Fair play. Do you know what I mean? Grealish, great pass into Dewsbury Hall. It's it. What first time? Bang! I couldn't believe he'd squeezed it in. From I was literally behind the goal. I literally couldn't believe that he managed to squeeze that in. But he did. And it was 3-0. It was 3-1 even. And I just thought, as long as we stuck in it at 2-1, you just don't know. Do you know what I mean? We had good substitutions to come. You think, all right, you know, we've had a poor one. It is what it is. Let's just get the draw and go home. Rodrigo Gomez scores very late on. I thought, honestly, some of the substitutions that came on just wore the badge better. Just wanted it more. Just ran an extra mile. Just got involved. Just looked like they want to be there. And that was the difference. Genuinely the difference. And those players that came on today They need to play next game. They need to play next game. Not this favouritism bollocks where you've got to play your favourites. Play the players that want to be here, that want to prove themselves. Play those players. Just do that. It's a nice goal by Rodrigo Gomez. He gets into a nice little situation, and it's a first assist for Wolfer. But it's too late. It's too little, too late at that point, and it was too little, too late after they scored that second goal. For me, that was it. That was it. The wind had got knocked out of our sails, and we just looked shit for a majority of the. We always look good after we get a goal back. But you can't do that in Premier League football. You've got to be on it all the time. And yeah, okay, you're human. You'll make mistakes. I absolutely don't mind a mistake, which is why I'm not grilling. That's why I'm not grilling individuals for that second goal. But it needs to stop. It needs to stop. This playing around the back. It only works if you've got players that are capable of doing it, and you've got the time and space. That's the key. Sometimes we play it around the back where there's no time and no space, and they just panic. They absolutely panic. It's like fucking hot potato. They can't wait to get rid of the ball quick enough. And unfortunately, that's always going to lead to a wayward pass, and that's exactly what happened. I don't know, guys. I'm at a loss, to be fair, because a lot of people are going to say, well, if Strand Larsen was in this game, would that matter? I don't think it would have, do you know? Because defensively we were shit. Would that have mattered if Strand Larsen had been here? Absolutely not. It's just not looking good. It's not looking good, guys. I'm not going to lie. I don't know where the points are going to come from. I just don't know. Someone said earlier, there's no player on that pitch now that excites me. There's no poster boy. Do you know what I mean? You know how Wolves have always got that one player that you can't wait to get their name on your back of your shirt. You can't wait to play them in FIFA. You can't wait to, talk about them all the time and worship the ground they walk on. We haven't got anyone like that anymore. Now, this is where we're going to talk, just before we get into the scores, the player scores. I need to talk about Fosun. And you're probably thinking, well, Dan, didn't you tell us the other day you were done talking about them? Like, what's the point? The ice is getting too thin, guys. It's getting too thin. We cannot keep getting away with mediocrity. We can't keep getting away with getting rid of our best players and replacing them with hopefuls at best. That's what it is. We don't have anyone coming in who's Premier League proven. So it's all a risk. But Fosun, they don't care about that. Are they making money on a player, yes or no? Then sign the dotted line. Jeff Shees reportedly said, apparently, that he doesn't want Strand Larsen to go and he's blocked the transfer. I think that's bollocks. That injury came at Bournemouth. That injury did. He played in that West Ham game in the second half out of his skin. He's running around. You're telling me he wasn't fit enough to be on the bench at least? We didn't have another number 9 other than Sasha Kalajdzic today, who, to be honest, when he came on was great. Got about really well. But again, he's not a proven striker. And we're against Everton, who have gone into the market and have done very well. They've got players that, let's be honest, weren't out of Wolves' grasp. Other than maybe Grealish, I just don't see him ever coming to Wolves. He doesn't like us, which is fair enough. I don't blame him. But Dewsbury Hall, you telling us we couldn't get Dewsbury Hall? And Ndiaye, telling me we couldn't get Ndiaye? Why is it we never ever seem to get players that have actually got a proven track record in the English league? It's all just risk with no reward. And that's the problem. That's the problem that we face at the moment as Wolves fans now. We've got owners who are literally playing Russian roulette with our football club. They've got all of the bullets and they're loading up that revolver, all right? And all those bullets are just players that they know about, you know, through the scouting or through Vitor, which is fair enough. Brilliant. But in that gun, you've also got to load your gun with players that are proven. Problem is, we have no pull. That's why we're getting players that don't really know the English league. But the players that do, and the players that know about Wolves and our model, wouldn't touch us with a 10-foot pole. And the reason for that is because we don't have ambition. Everton do. They got a brand new stadium. Honestly, Everton are the most ideal club to put in front of Wolves right now. They are leagues ahead of us. Leagues. And it's just, I look at the table, and other than, sorry to say this, West Ham fans, other than West Ham, I don't see another team that's as poor as us. Defensively, I reckon we're the worst in the league. Seriously. I don't see leadership in this team. I don't see a key player. I don't see a player where I'm like, yeah, that's the guy, man. Because we sell all those. We sell all those. So we can never hold on to that feeling longer than we need to. What is the point? And I'm asking Fosun this. What is the point in staying on this football club? Just sell it. Just sell it. Because you aren't... I had this thought earlier. Right? If Wolves were to stay up this season, what's going to change? What's going to change? João Gomez is probably going to go. Strand Larsen doesn't go now, he's gone then. Any player that has any sort of something about him, enjoy it while it lasts, is all I'm saying. And I know that players aren't going to be at our club forever. But it just seems at the moment that we've gone backwards. we've gone more and more and more and more backwards, where everybody else above us has gone better and better and better. And you can laugh and laugh all you want about all the other clubs and the banter around all the other clubs. Are they going to still be in the Premier League next season? And eventually they will get there. I don't have that with Wolves. We're just going to get worse and worse and worse as how time goes on. And I know people are going to hate negativity. And I hate it as well, guys. But it's fact. It's fact. Wolves have progressively got worse and worse and worse. Let's talk about player scores. So, Jose Sarr, not good today. Not good today. At times, just didn't talk at all. Didn't communicate with his defenders. I mean, I said earlier it was like the Chuckle Brothers or whatever. It's like the Three Stooges with them three. Santi Bueno must just be there going, what am I doing, man? Just get me out of this fucking club. Agbadu, worst performance I've ever seen him in a Wolves shirt, and I just don't know where he's gone. Don't know where he is. It's getting to a point where I'm going to actually have to fucking call, Most Haunted or fucking Ghost Hunters, because fuck knows where he is. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to get a fucking seance board out to try and find this twat. Totti Gomez, captain. I was in the North Bank today. I'm one row away from the front of where the goal is. I can hear and see everything. Totti Gomez is not a captain. Nah. There was never a moment where I was like, yeah, okay, amazing. He's calling out for this. He's doing this, that, and the other. I mean, come on, man. We fucking fell. We fell. We had Connor Cody. We had Neves. Or even Semedo. Even Lamina before he turned into a twat. Of all being half-decent captains. Connor Cody was incredible. And Ruben Neves was probably on par. And ever since then, we've just been fucked. For leadership, mate, we're fucked. Where do you look for leadership on this pitch? In old gold? Who the fuck do you look at? None of them. None of them. Santi Bueno, best defender on our side of the pitch. By far. Didn't do anything wrong. Was really astute in some of his tackles. Really key tackles, by the way. Like goal-defining tackles. Hugo Bueno got injured at the end. Hope he's okay. He was really, really good. He was really good at getting down the wing and showing something. Busting a gut. Getting to that byline. Doing something with it. Jackson. It's still early days. I can't fault him too much, really. But his first touch isn't great. But I don't think he was awful. Just average. Andre, fucking bad. Bad. I feel like I'm going to have to go to fucking like some sort of marriage counselling with him and Vitor Pereira. There's something going on there. There's some bad blood there. I'm telling you now. He left him out on that one game. And in this game, he got subbed off. And he was fucking shit. He was shit. But why is he shit? Why was I saying earlier about players that just don't really seem like they want to fucking be there? That's one of them. Him and Agbadu today. Honest to God, if it was earlier in the transfer market and we could make some money off either of them, fucking go. Dreadful. Awful. João Gomez trying to do everything on his own and it just didn't work. Fucking literally on his own today. That's what I mean. If one of our midfielders have a bad performance, there's no one on the bench to do anything. Let that sink in. We have been in the Premier League now for a good few years, and yet we don't have a centre-back, striker, midfielder that can actually do a job when they come on. That's fucking terrifying. We've got one goalkeeper. If he gets injured, that's the season done. Because the other two couldn't catch a cold. Do you know what I mean? They couldn't catch a cold during COVID with no masks. John Arias, at times, was our player that I thought would unlock them the most, but just ran out of steam towards the end. Needs more game time. Needs more time. And to be honest, I felt sorry for him because how many times was the ball just lumped up to him? He's the shortest bloke on the pitch, and the ball's just being pumped up to him like we're Stoke, and we're just banging up there just to see what happens. Like, why have we become so predictably direct? How has this club fallen so much, man? How has it fallen so fucking much? Hwang Hee-chan, when you are telling me that Hwang Hee-chan is our best player, I'm then going to tell you what the actual fuck is happening to my football club. Hwang Hee-chan today scores a great goal, and after that looked really bright. But was he really that good? Or was it because everyone else was fucking dreadful and it just made him look better? Marshall Munetsi was great in the first half, missing in the second. How this guy got a full game screams something to me. We have about as much depth as a kid's paddling pool with a hole in it. No depth. Let's talk about the bright spark. The bright spark is the fact that the substitutions made a difference again. On my match vlog, which is coming soon, I slated Vitor Pereira for his decisions, taking Andre off, etc. But you know what? It's fucking. Now I'm thinking about it. Spot on. Rodrigo Gomez comes on in the 63rd minute and gets a 7.3. He comes on and gets the most score out of any Wolves player. He was awesome. Not just going forward, helping in defence as well. So was Sasha Kalajdzic. Fer Lopez, awesome. He deserves a 7, by the way. He was amazing. He got on the ball every time. Positive, running forward, turning his defenders, getting forward, making something happen. John Rittner Bellegarde, exactly the same. Really, really good. Positive. Getting on the ball, getting forward. Wolf comes on, gets an assist. Sasha Kalajdzic, again. Every time Sasha Kalajdzic's come on this season, including the pre-season, he has looked fit and he looks ready. And for me, I'd play him. I'd play him and Hwang Hee-chan together like this. If we don't get a new striker, if Stan Larsen decides to leave, then that might be what we do. That might be what we do. But yeah, guys, I don't know what more to say. I really try not to be negative. I really do. I know you think that sounds ridiculous, but honest to God, I do my utmost best before I start this video. I always do my best to just take a chill pill and think about things rationally. But the rational side of me is deteriorating. I'm becoming so fucking one-sided. Molineux today, back the team or sell the club. Now I know you're buying your players, you know. You know what it reminds me of? You know that famous meme? Can I have McDonald's, Mom? We've got McDonald's at home. Well, McDonald's is all the players that we're actually getting rid of, and fucking Jeff Shee and Fosun are the mum at home saying, well, we've got that at home, and the things that we've got at home are like makeshift shitty burgers, you know, found underneath the freezer. I'm concerned, guys. I'm very concerned. The one thing I thought after last season was, yes, we're shipping goals, but we look defensively sound. We look fucking awful, man. Terrible. We made Everton look like prime Barcelona today. Jack Grealish. Do you know what I mean? We made them look like they're like Grealishendio. I just don't know. I don't know, guys. We've got a break now. Will Jørgen Strand Larsen be here next in the next football match? If he's not, we're going to have talks. Because for me, getting rid of your goal scorer when you've got fringe players or players that haven't really been pulling up trees, you're just waiting for the inevitable to happen, aren't you? Honestly, I've never been so spacious in my mind in a review before. But I just keep needing time to think about what I'm going to say before I say it. But I'm going to get to a point where the ice that we're currently on, which is extremely thin, as soon as that breaks and the reality really sets home, there's going to be some serious talks. But guys, listen, we have to try and stay positive in some way. I don't know where you find it. Like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you can. Hit that notification bell. If any of you do find Agbadou, please let me know. Please let me know. We're all very concerned on his well-being. You know, completely missing. Oh God. Alright, see you later, guys. Thank you.